right, let's go ahead and get ourselves kicked off. Hello again, and thank you everyone for your interest in the University of Cincinnati's online early childhood education birth to age 5 programs. My name is Allison Kraling, and I am one of the enrollment services advisors here at UC Online, specializing in our online ECE programs. Tonight, I am so happy to be joined by Kathleen Bryan, Program Coordinator and Associate Professor for the UC Early Childhood Education Programs. And we are also joined by Shamel Baxter, a Workforce Coordinator for the Ohio Child Care Resource and Referral Association, also known as OCRA, who will later in the presentation discuss our Teach Ohio Early Childhood Scholarship with everybody. We are so glad to have you all here with us tonight. And we're going to go ahead and review some highlights and detailed information about our programs. So if you do have questions as we're kind of going through here in each slide, there are a couple options that you have. You do have a Q&A box that should be in a little icon at the bottom where you can ask a question and type in whatever you're kind of wondering about, and we can kind of hit it as we go. Or you do have the ability to raise your hand and verbally ask the question and unmute yourself if you would like to kind of talk it through as well. All right, so our agenda, what we're going to hit on tonight, it's just a sort of an overview of what areas we're going to be able to discuss. So we'll go through our program highlights about our associate and bachelor's, where you should probably start, the curriculum overview, sharing some courses that you'll be able to take, the admissions requirements and the application process and how that will all work, the deadlines that you will want to pay attention to and mark down as important, especially for the upcoming summer semester, and a little bit about our tuition, financial aid, and then, like I mentioned before, the OCRA teach opportunities that Shamel will hit on as well. And then at the end, if there is still a lingering question that you haven't heard or answered yet, we haven't gotten to yet for you, we would be happy to address that as well. So before we do jump into the program details, we do want to take a short opportunity to let you hear about one of our stories from Marcy Mason. She was a graduate of our Bachelor's Early Childhood Education program. Marcy was very nervous about going back to school initially, but through some hard work and lots of determination, combined with the support that she did receive from our UC Online family, she is now a graduate of both the associate and the bachelor's in early childhood education, and she kind of goes through and shares her story here.
I think the question that's on every teacher's mind is, will I be remembered? My profession in childcare entitled me to prepare an environment for nurturing and learning for the children. As a child, I always played school, but I always felt that I always wanted to be a teacher. It can be very challenging, especially with behaviors or, one of the words that we're using now is trauma. They can't give you the words to tell you what I'm experiencing. So it's kind of like a guessing game to help us, help them. I chose to go to University of Cincinnati online to achieve my associate degree in early childhood education. I think the fear of going back to school is, what if I fail? As I reflect on my journey, UC was the only option that I had that really helped me grow and getting what I needed to become the teacher that I am. The online platform was super easy to use. It was very explainable in my terms. The online platform also allowed me to connect with other students so you don't feel alone, for what you're going through. The advisor that I had, she really pushed me. I've cried with her. She really was a very big supporter. Once I received my associate, there was no question about going on for my bachelor's, again, with UC. I guess when I look back on my career, I'm most proud of being able to be a part of a child's life at the beginning and seeing them grow as an adult. Because you learn from them as well.
Who is that? Look how big you are.
I felt like I also grew up right along with the children.
So UC Online is very proud to provide start to graduation support, what we like to call like from start to finish. You'll have somebody to connect with and help you all throughout your pathway to the end of your educational journey. So every student enrolled in our online early childhood education programs, you are going to have a dedicated team providing one-on-one support from the very first person you talk to. So starting off, you are going to have your enrollment services advisor. So that would either be myself or one of my teammates. That is the very first person that receives your information when you show interest in filling out the inquiry form online. So we get a hold of you. We want to support you in any way we can while you're just researching and maybe just in those beginning stages. We want to help you start the application, finish your application, get your transcripts in, and then all the way through getting your decision back from admissions and what next steps you need to take. So from then on, we would then connect you with your student success coordinator. So that person is going to support you through confirmation after you confirm your offer through the semester registration. So when courses do open up each term, they're going to help you decide which ones fit your schedule, which ones make the most sense for you. Should you be part-time, full-time? Talk all the way through what your kind of curriculum map is going to look like. They're going to be a great advocate for students and ensure that they are making sure you're informed of all the information and that you need necessary from start to finish to be very successful. If there's anything that comes up throughout your journey with maybe a professor or maybe struggling in a class and you're not sure who to reach out to, definitely reach out to your SSE student success coordinator because they'll be there to check in with you all along the way as well. And alongside your SSE student success coordinator, you're also going to have an academic advisor, just like our on-campus programs do as well. So you will have an advisor that will assist you in understanding specific program requirements, the policies that you need to pay attention to, develop that course schedule, and then consider the student's background and educational goals and what makes most sense for you and how to help you be successful. And then, of course, you'll also have lots of different program faculty members that will be helping you throughout your journey as well. They're all highly qualified and very experienced in the field, and they are wanting to just do the best for you, just like anybody else, and want to be able to communicate with you and help you in any way they can. If any specific class project comes up and you're not quite sure, just open communication is always what we really want from our students and our staff too. So this is one question that we do commonly get. What is my time frame look like? How long is it going to take me to complete this? So lots of factors go into that. And I will say it is a case by case, student by student situation. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs, different at home schedule, work schedule. So it's not a one fits all kind of answer for that. But some things to keep in mind is that for everyone, for our programs, it is fully online, 100%, and it is set up asynchronous as an asynchronous format too. So what that means is you are not going to have to be available for live lectures once a week or twice a week and have to rush home and get onto your laptop every Wednesday at 6. It's not designed that way. It's much more flexible because it was designed knowing that our students have very busy, off and on different kinds of schedules with family, with kids, with work. Maybe they got called in, maybe they work first shift, second shift, whatever it happens to be. So that we want to make sure that we can work with you guys with a flexible schedule as well. So there are 3 start dates per year as well. So you can choose to start in the spring semester, which is January, in the summer semester, which would be May, and then our fall semester starts in August. And all of our semesters and courses do take the typical length that you would see with on-campus programs as well. So they are going to be about 13, 15 weeks in length. And then you do have the option as enrolling either as a part-time or a full-time student, whatever works best for you. That's why our academic advisor and our SSEs are going to come into play, helping you talk through what makes the most sense for you, what's doable, what's realistic. Let's not overwhelm anybody and put too much on your plate. So talking that through what makes the most sense. And then I would say on average, most ECE students enroll part-time, at least starting out, and they take about 6 to 9 credit hours per semester. So some of our national rankings, in 2023, we were voted best online bachelor's programs. In 2020, we were number 2 as a best online college. We were also voted as best online bachelor's in early childhood education programs, and we have been voted as the top 15 best online associate early childhood education programs as too. So not only regionally and around the Ohio area, UC is recognized, but we're recognized in our particular ECE programs nationally as well. So these accolades are in great part due to the wonderful program faculty, especially with Miss Kathleen. So with great pleasure, I do want to introduce you to Kathleen Bryan. She is our program coordinator for our early childhood education associate and bachelor's programs here at the University of Cincinnati. Her responsibilities do include maintaining the pedagogy and curriculum for the 35 courses for all 3 semesters, supervising 30 adjunct faculty, and supporting over 400 students in the program. So very busy lady. Kathleen is the practicum coordinator as well, so to make sure that you have high quality infant, toddler, and preschool practicum placements for when you get to that point in your program. So additionally, Kathleen has led study abroad trips for our ECE students interested in studying the nature-based early learning programs in other countries such as England and Germany. So Kathleen, if you would like to go ahead and I'll pass it off to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Allison, and good evening, everyone. I'm so glad that you are able to be here tonight. As Allison said, we have 2 specific degree programs. We have the Associate of Applied Science, or we call that the AAS, which is the associate degree. It is a total of 60 credit hours. All of our courses are 3 credit hours each, so that's a total of 20 courses. And you are able to use the Teach Ohio Scholarship for the associate degree. We also have the courses in the associate degree scholarshiped by our School of Education in our college, so that reduces the price of the tuition for the associate degree. And of course, we accept the federal financial aid. The other degree, which if you complete the associate degree, you're halfway towards the bachelor degree. It's a Bachelor of Science, so it's a BS ED for education. It's a BS ED specifically in early childhood birth to age 5. It's double the credit hours of the associate degree. Again, the associate degree is halfway there. So it's 120 credit hours or 40 courses, Teach scholarship eligible. And we have very strong articulation agreements, meaning we have agreements with other community colleges where we will accept all of the courses and credits from specifically 15 institutions across the state. And we're continually adding to that list as well. Of course, federal financial aid is eligible for the bachelor degree. You'll hear more about this in the upcoming slides, but once you choose either one of these degrees, you will then, that's your plan, that's your degree plan, but you will also have the opportunity to choose a sub-plan, which is a specialization in infant, toddler, preschool, administration, or nature-based. So most people say, where do I begin? And what do I need to start the program at the University of Cincinnati? So for the associate degree, you just need your high school diploma or GED. You do not need to take any ACT or SAT tests. We don't require any of those scores. And if you are transferring in from another institution, we have open admission. Remember that there is the scholarship making the courses in the associate degree a little more affordable. So we encourage everyone to start in the associate degree, even if your ultimate goal is the bachelor degree, so that you get those discounted associate degree courses. All of those courses do apply to the bachelor degree that from the associate degree. And if you have a CDA credential, which stands for the Child Development Associate, it's a credential. You are eligible for credit for 2 classes, so 6 credit hours in our associate degree. Our bachelor degree, if you are coming in from another institution or transferring, you need to have a 2.5 grade point average. And again, no ACT or SAT scores are required. And as I mentioned already, the Teach scholarships are available for both of these degrees. And if you are coming in from another institution, you can apply up to 90 credits from a different college or institution towards the bachelor degree. So this is the very first example of one of the subplans, probably our most frequently chosen subplan, and that is the preschool subplan. As I mentioned in the associate degree, there are 20 courses. Regardless of whatever subplan you choose, about 15 of those courses are going to be the same. But then in the subplan, you're going to have 5 courses in the preschool, for example, that are unique to working in a preschool classroom environment. The first 3 classes are what we call our curriculum classes, and they help prepare you for what would be expected in the practicum courses, the last 2, ECE 2080 and 2085. That's where you are demonstrating your teaching with young children and in an online program that is completed through video taping, or someone's videoing you in that environment. This would be a good subplan if you are working in a child care center, if you're working in a Head Start program or a private preschool. But also, there are lots of other opportunities in early childhood to use expertise in this area, such as being a curriculum specialist or a preschool supervisor. And as I mentioned, there are 2 practicum classes. It's the ECE 2085, the last practicum course that would lead to Ohio's pre-K license if you are interested in that. The next subplan is for specifically designed for people that are in a director role or an administrator role where frankly, they don't have time to have a whole semester or 2 semesters of a practicum experience. Also, the 5 specific courses are designed to help someone who is leading a program, might be building a program from the ground up, how to supervise staff, how to work with families, and develop a mission and curriculum for the entire program. So you'll see our 5 specific courses there, and throughout all those courses, you will be shadowing other administrators and interviewing other people that are in that role, perhaps in other types of environments, and that would replace the practicum experience. So this would be a good fit if you would like to become an administrator, or if you're currently a director at a child care center, again, a Head Start program, especially applicable for someone that is a family child care provider, whether that's for a type A or a type B home. Again, very conducive to if you are a family child care provider, that you don't physically have to get in a car and be in a class at a certain time of day, because sometimes families don't pick up children on time. So if you are running your own family child care, this is a great program and a great fit. As I mentioned, this doesn't require a practicum, so you don't have to leave your place of employment to go do a practicum elsewhere. The infant toddler subplan is for someone that has a specific focus in children birth to age 3, and the unique needs of an infant or toddler are reflected in the course plan right there. There are 4 specific courses that are required before the practicum experience. And again, the practicum would take place in an environment with infants and toddlers where you would be videoed so that we could see, have you demonstrate for us working with infants and toddlers. Again, child care center staff would benefit by having this subplan. Those of you that are working in an early Head Start that's focused on infant and toddlers would be a good fit for this. But also a curriculum specialist or a supervisor could benefit by having these kinds of foundational courses. And finally, our newest subplan, as Allison mentioned, I led some study abroad trips where nature-based early learning, where children spend large parts of every single day outside in many different kinds of environments. It's very popular in Europe and it's gaining popularity in the United States. So we have, again, the degree is still going to be either an associate degree in early childhood or a bachelor degree in early childhood, but the subplan would be specializing in these specific courses in working with children out in nature. This it's the second to the end, ECE 3070. That is a practicum course where again we would be observing you working out in nature with young children. As far as where you could do this, it could be in a forest, in a typical nature kind of setting, but it also could be at a zoo. It could be at a beach school. I've seen some nature-based programs that are associated with a beach kind of environment. So there is a lot of options for the practicum for this subplan. And as you can see, there's zoo schools, forest schools are mentioned there. But if you are not working in those environments, perhaps you just want to include more nature, more freedom outside for the children in your care right now. So some of these courses would be applicable to you just to green up your current environment. You'll see in the box there, this is the very first nature-based early childhood program in the country that is 100% online, and we're very proud of that. We get a lot of questions as far as how practicum works, and I've mentioned that you are going to be videoed in those environments. But as far as the time that you need to spend in each of those environments is different depending on the practicum. So at the end of your degree, you would, if you are choosing the infant toddler subplan, you would have one whole semester of infant toddler practicum where you're spending 10 hours a week. Typically, that boils down to 2 hours a day. And in an infant toddler environment, that can happen at any time of the day. In the morning, in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. The preschool practicum is actually 2 semesters if you are going for the licensure. The first semester is 10 hours a week as well, but the requirement is those 2 hours a day have to be in the morning time when predominantly the classroom is set up in centers and starting with circle time and so forth. The second semester is 15 hours a week, so that then is increased to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for one whole semester. The nature-based early learning one is considerably less time than some of the other ones. It's about 10 hours a week, but it's not for the entire semester. It's for a portion of that final semester. We are very happy to report that you can get paid while doing your practicum if you are working in a high quality childcare center that we approve, or if it's an accredited childcare center, you can get paid while doing your practicum. As I mentioned a couple slides ago, only the preschool practicum, the second ECE 2085, is the one that can lead to the pre-K associate license. There isn't a license to work with infants and toddlers, but I want to be clear that this pre-K license only allows you to teach preschool and not kindergarten and above. So as you can see, this does not lead to Ohio's pre-K to 5th grade licensure program. As I said, with vetting the places where you would do your practicum, there is a dedicated practicum coordinator. So when you're ready for that part in your program, you will work with me, making sure that you are fully ready for that practicum experience. So you will learn about that as you go through the program.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Now that we've talked a little bit about the curriculum, I did want to take a minute to go over the admissions requirements, which is my job and my team's job to help you with going through that process. So applicants for our programs fall into 2 different categories. You're either going to be a first-year student or a transfer student. So a first-year student is a student who has never attended college before. Admission to our associate degree program is open to first-year students with either a high school diploma or a GED. To apply, you will want to complete the online application form, and then you will need to request official high school transcripts or an official GED transcript to be sent directly to the University of Cincinnati's undergraduate admissions. So just keep that in mind that my team and I aren't able to take your transcripts, and you're not able to upload an unofficial copy yourself as the student or applicant. They do need to be official in order to be reviewed by the admissions team. If you are a senior currently finishing up your high school degree, you will need to request a mid-year or in-progress transcript to be sent from your high school to admissions. And then, of course, once you were to graduate, they would need the updated final edition of that as well. So that's what first-year students would be considered. If you are on the other side, you're probably going to be a transfer student, and that's going to be a student who has attended another institution or college at one point. Admission to our associate's degree is open to transfer students. A 2.5 GPA is required from those previous schools to be admitted to the bachelor's program. So again, to apply, you will do the same steps as a first year. You'll need to complete the online application as well, and then you'll need to request official transcripts from any previously attended schools. So even if you were only enrolled there for a very short period of time, even if you did not even receive any credits from that particular college, the official transcripts are still going to be needed. All of our applicants go through a national clearinghouse audit, or the applications do, so that we'll pull up the schools that you have attended previously. For transfer students, high school transcripts and GED are required only if you've completed fewer than 24 college credits after graduating from high school. So if you've completed 24 credits or more previously at another college, you will not be required to ask for your high school transcripts. Those will be waived and checked off on your application, so you won't need to worry about asking for those. There are no test scores required, like Kathleen mentioned. You do not need to submit an ACT or SAT score for either the associate or the bachelor's programs. And it's very important to remember that, once again, myself, my team, anybody besides the admissions team are able to accept transcripts. So we have made that pretty clear in our communication, in our emails that we send to you guys. But if for some reason you can't find the address as to where to send that, just reach out to your enrollment services advisor, and we'd be more than happy to share that with you guys so that they get sent to the right place. So if you previously attended UC, there is actually a readmission form to complete in place of a traditional application. So if UC was the last school that you attended, maybe in early childhood, and you're trying to come back, or maybe it was a completely different program, you actually do not need to fill out a normal application. And it's just a quick online form to fill out saying that you are now wanting to change your major into our program. So again, if any of these things you have questions about and you're not quite sure, reach out to your enrollment services advisor that you have received information from, emails or texts from, and they will be more than happy to guide you through that process and help you with either the first year student, transfer student, or a readmission form coming back into one of our programs. I think we have somebody that raised their hand for a question.
I've noticed in the Q&A that there's a couple questions that have been answered, but might just be worth clarifying. Is that what you're talking about, Allison? I don't know if a hand was raised.
Yeah, it looked like Tiffany raised her hand.
Oh.
Tiffany, I'm gonna allow you to talk.
There.
Yeah. Oh. Trying to get her to. You can, you should be able to ask your question, Tiffany.
I joined late and I did not mean to do that. I was just messing
Oh,
with my phone. Sorry.
okay. No problem at all. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to skip over you because
No,
you
that's
had a
okay.
little hand there. Sorry. Okay. So let's go back to the question box. How do I switch the program I want to go into if I want to switch the degree that allows me to go into elementary school? Okay, so we do not currently offer a fully online elementary education program to get your bachelor's degree, but we do have an on-campus program that would allow you to get that particular license, the K through 3 or K through 5 license. So if you are interested in that, we do have a contact at the through the on-campus program, and your enrollment services advisor would be happy to connect you with that person. And they'll let you know exactly what you need to do if you're interested in applying for the bachelor's elementary education program.
And I think, Allison, a question that came up prior to that one was, could you complete your practicum in a public school setting? And the answer is yes. A lot of public schools have their own preschools, and you can complete your practicum in that setting. But again, to be clear, this degree does not qualify you to do anything beyond preschool. So oftentimes a school district would, even with a bachelor's degree, they might not want to hire you if they would have a need of putting you either in a preschool classroom or a fifth grade classroom. And so that's why a school district might not, well, want someone that has a bachelor's degree specifically focused in birth to age 5. And as Allison mentioned, we do have an on-campus program that does lead to that license.
And then we have a question about, are they able to use Chromebooks rather than a different laptop for their classes?
Yeah, so I don't have all the specifications offhand, but you've got to make, and we do I think the student success coordinators do give information about what types of computers are needed. You need it to be powerful enough to run videos and record your own videos and upload videos when it comes time to practicum for doing practicum. But so at the beginning, a Chromebook or something not as powerful might be fine, but we do have the specific specifications that we encourage you to walk into a Best Buy and ask someone, like, does this meet the specifications? And there are some opportunities in throughout the state. If you're in Ohio and you are part of the Teach Scholarship that you'll learn about later, there are opportunities to help you with computers beyond your first semester. You have to show success in your first semester to be eligible for that. The kinds of employment that I see, the next question with the associate degree, any high quality child care center, high quality preschool, they are really looking for someone with a specific a degree in early childhood. And while a CDA is a credential that many people like to have as a beginning teacher, for someone that's going to be a lead teacher, they're looking for someone with more in-depth child development and understanding of developmentally appropriate practices. So that is the type of employment available with an associate degree. And as I mentioned earlier, with the practicum for the nature-based, it really is dependent on where and what kind of nature-based program you're interested in. And so there's a lot more information that will be shared, but there's a lot of flexibility with the nature-based practicum. It could even be completed at a summer camp kind of program in the summertime. The app for the video observation. So there's not, well, we use the Kaltura. It starts with a K app. I guess it's an app, but it's embedded in our Canvas courses. And that is how you would use to record your video. But oftentimes students will use an iPad or their phone to record their videos and upload that video to Kaltura. So you don't need a specific device to record your practicum experiences. And that's all of that's embedded inside of our online platform. So it's extremely secure. There's no way that the videos could get out anywhere else. Sorry, I'm backing up. I see that there's a question about when will there be an online elementary degree. In all of my years at the in early childhood, which is going way beyond 30 years now, there has not been a specific online undergraduate elementary degree. There are some programs that are starting that are in the master's degree or beyond the bachelor's degree. So if you had a bachelor's degree in something else and wanted to get an elementary certification or licensure, it would be beyond the bachelor degree. So to my knowledge, in Ohio, there is not an online elementary degree that I know of. I see the question about a CDA. So you do not necessarily have to wait until you are finished with your CDA, but make sure that everyone from application to working with your advisor is aware that you are working on your CDA so that you don't enroll in the courses that you will actually get credit for once you produce your CDA credentials. So just be very upfront with that from the application process all the way until you start taking classes and then eventually get your CDA certificate. And I see the last question, that you're the lead mentor at a nature school. And oh, so Brianna, the requirements to make your school qualify for a nature-based practicum, it's not as rigid as the requirements for the infant, toddler, and preschool practicum. So I would have to talk to you one-on-one about the philosophy of how you approach your nature-based curriculum, and no one has been denied as of yet. So I would hope that if you are already in a nature school, that it would qualify. Okay. I think that's it.
Okay, so for transfer students, transferring, this is a very common question that we get, is if you can have credits that would transfer into our program. So like Kathleen mentioned before, we actually do have articulation agreements with several other programs and schools in Ohio. So we are pretty transfer friendly. You can transfer credits from coursework at another regionally accredited college. So potentially 40 credits if you're looking into transferring into the associate's program, and then 90 credits possible to transfer into the bachelor's program. Students who have completed their CDA credential, you can actually earn up to 6 credit hours toward the associate program. And to determine this, you will want to first apply, finish out your application, have those official transcripts sent in from where you previously attended. And then once you were to receive your decision back and confirm your offer, one of the first conversations you're going to have with your academic advisor is petitioning for admissions to look over those transcripts and let you know how many you possibly might get from your previous work. So the articulation partners, we have agreements with over 15 other colleges. And that is listed on our early childhood education website. There's a nice little tab on the home page that says partnerships, articulation partnerships, and it's listed out all the ones that we have those agreements with. So students admitted to our bachelor's program coming from a partner, you will be granted automatic transfer of those associate degree credits that you earned, which is very nice, coming in with that many going in to your next program for the bachelor's program. So some dates to pay attention to, especially if you are applying for this upcoming summer term. Our application deadline for summer is March 15th, which I believe falls on a Saturday this year. So what that means is all of your official transcripts need to be submitted and on that application ready to go for admissions to review it. So just submitting the application form, just hitting the submit button doesn't technically consider it complete. It's only complete until those official transcripts from either the high school or your colleges that you previously attended need to be processed and received by admissions by March 15th. And then if you receive acceptance, you need to confirm your offer by April 15th so that you're ready to go for when classes do start. And that's going to be on May 12th for the summer session. If you do happen to have any questions about ordering and processing transcripts and how to request the official copies, please do reach out to myself or your other enrollment services advisor, and we would be happy to help you find a really good, nice online electronic link to order them. Or if your school still does send them official copies through the postal service, we can try and find the best way to get in contact with that school as well. So financial aid, both our associate and our bachelor programs are eligible for financial aid. And you want to make sure that that's filled out ahead of time as well. So if you are thinking of starting in summer, you want to go ahead and get that filled out ahead of time. We also do have tuition payment plans available to kind of break up the payments per semester. Um, and we do have a dedicated online program specifically for our online programs, financial aid advisor. And we have that contact information to share with you guys. And he would be happy to set up either a phone appointment, answer you via email. Very happy to meet up with students and help them through the process if you have specific financial aid questions. And then we do have our code listed there for UC if you're filling out your FAFSA and what code you need to put in there for it. All right, and next up is talking a little bit more about our Teach Scholarship. And so, Shamel, if you want to go ahead and take the lead on that.
Yes, good evening, guys. My name is Shamel, and I'm the workforce coordinator for Okra. I'm also a teach counselor as well for the University of Cincinnati and Cincinnati State. So we're just going to talk a little bit about Teach. So Teach Early Childhood Ohio provides scholarships to teachers and family child care providers to earn degrees and credentials in early childhood education. The goal is to increase education, compensation, and retention for early childhood professionals and to improve the quality of early childhood services. So there is an eligibility for the scholarship. So we do offer scholarships for associates, bachelors, in addition to the CDA assessment fee, and if you need to complete the 120 hours of training for the CDA. So the eligibility includes you must be a Type B family child care provider or Type A assistant director, lead teacher, um, assistant teacher, owner. You must be employed in a licensed early child care learning program, so ODGFS center. You must work at least 30 hours per week with children birth to 5. You must agree to stay at your program for a minimum of a year after completing the scholarship. You must be of any sort if you want to apply for Teach. And then also, if you want to apply for the bachelor's degree, you must have an associate's degree in early childhood education. So, how the scholarship works is Teach. The scholarship is designed for you guys to go debt free. So Teach pays 90% of your tuition, and then the rest is broken up between you and your employer. So they would have to agree to pay 5%, and then you would agree to pay 5% of that tuition. Your center would have to provide you paid release time, which is a time for you to come outside the classroom and work on anything pertaining to your classes. You still get you still get paid your normal rate of pay. We reimburse the center $12 an hour. We pay up to 80% of your book costs. Your center would pay, you pay 10%, and then your center would pay 10%. We give you a $100 stipend, which is automatically applied, and it also helps pay your 5% of tuition. If you complete 9 credit hours in a year, so if you're starting summer, you would go summer, fall, and spring. If you complete 9 credit hours, we give you a $300 bonus, and then your center agrees to give you a $300 bonus or a 2% raise. We do have the one-time laptop reimbursement, which is a really good thing right now. So I don't know how long it's going to be around. So we will reimburse you up to $1,500 if you decide to buy a laptop. So say you start summer semester and you buy that laptop. If you complete that first semester, once I get your grades, and you fill out a form and attach a receipt to it, we will reimburse you up to $1,500. So this is always good. If you don't have a laptop or just wanting to get a new one, I always tell people to try to take advantage of it if you can. Let's see what else. That's So I just think that it's a really good program. Kathleen was talking about if you do have to do practicum scholarship. So if you have to be a teacher, so assistant or lead teacher, and you have to do those practicum hours away from your center, we will pay you at your normal rate of pay so that you can get away to do those student teaching hours. So that's a very important thing as well. So the scholarship is located in your Okra profile under applications. If you are eligible, it should highlight for you and it should automatically populate. If it doesn't highlight for you, then that means you're not eligible for the scholarship. So we just need to figure out kind of what's going on with your profile. So when you go into your Okra profile, you just want to make sure that everything is updated and correct, such as your phone, address, email. You want to make sure you have your highest education uploaded and verified, and you want to make sure you have an eligible employment in your employment record. So if you're thinking about going summer semester, I would say to start your teach application now. It takes a while for processing and then the stuff we need to send out to you and your center. So I would just say start now for that teach scholarship.
Thanks, Shamel. There was actually a question that popped up. Is there a deadline for the Teach Scholarship that they need to apply
Um,
by?
so I try to say like at least a month before classes start. So if we could get it before April 15th, just because it's so much paperwork we have to get out and we have to get paperwork back, we have to get schedules because we send the list over to UC saying that we're paying, so we don't want to miss those deadlines for you guys as well.
Nice. So yeah, try and do it as much ahead of time as possible, but give yourself at least a month or so
Yes,
before the classes would start. And then so if they need help with the scholarship, should they reach out to you directly, Shamel?
yes, yes, they can.
Okay, perfect.
If you would like to start in the fall, I would say start your app about May or June and try to get it done before July 15th. So just like a month or two before school starts, because it really is a long process of a lot of back and forth. Because once you submit that application in the Okra registry, your director has some next steps that they need to complete through their organization dashboard. So we just want to make sure they have time to complete and make sure that they can give you guys' the attestation that they agreed to, such as the release time and the bonus or the raise, or paying for the 5% of your tuition. Um, so just getting it done as early as possible.
The earlier the better.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So again, like we mentioned before, the application deadline, if you are wanting to start in our summer classes, is on March 15th. That's a Saturday. So you want to get your not only your application submitted, but all of those official transcripts received and processed by admissions as well. So then you are ready to go for classes starting in May. So if you are thinking of any other questions, and need any help with anything that maybe you want to ask at a later time, I would be happy to either myself, if I'm your enrollment services advisor, or reach out to the appropriate teammate that is working with you and get you in touch with the right person. Um, I wanted to share the contact information. So Shamel would be happy to answer any specific teach questions, or if you need help with the scholarship or the form. If you have application or any admissions requirements, questions, or questions just in general about the program, myself or my team would be happy to help you and support you as well. And then I know Kathleen does love getting in touch with prospective students if there's anything specific that you wanted to reach out to her about as well. So all of us are here to help you and happy to help you through the process and get you ready for classes as well. So let's check the question and answer box again and see if there's anything new that popped up. Do we need to work in a childcare facility to be able to get the scholarship?
Yes. So a ODGFS license. So if you work in a home provider, you have to be a teacher or like the owner or something that owns the child care provider, but it has to be licensed by ODJFS.
And I started my teach, but it was asking for the FAFSA confirmation page. How do I show that I was looking for it on FAFSA and couldn't find it?
So I usually say the student aid report because it usually comes like in a PDF, or if you could take a screenshot of the email they sent you, or just something off your FAFSA confirmation page. I know it needs to be a PDF, so just something showing that you applied for the FAFSA.
Sounds good. But like I said, if there's any other questions that you think about later, um, reach out to either myself or I'll get you in touch with the right person. And then also keep in mind that this is being recorded right now, and our team is going to put it together in a nice little link, and we'll be able to share it when that's ready. So if there's anything that we talked about that you want to refer back to, or if you have a coworker or a friend that you wanted to be able to share it with, we will have the link ready probably within the next couple weeks or sooner. So all of this will be saved, and we've obviously had great questions and great feedback. So good information to be able to kind of share with you guys. When financial aid is approved, do I need to tell UC or will it be transferred?
Kayla or Allison, do you know that answer?
Sorry, I was thinking Shamel was going to pop on.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it should, when if you put the code, if you put in the code, it should be transferred over, I believe. UC should know that you filled it out for specifically our school, I believe. I don't think you have to alert anybody.
Right. I think that's the design of that specific code. It's unique to the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much again for being with us tonight. And like I said, a recording of this will be put together and shared at a later time. And do remember that we are all here and available to answer any questions. Please do not hesitate to reach out. We would much rather help you through it in any way that we can. And we do hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of their week and hope to hear from you guys soon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.